The night John Wayne let the cowboy mask fall. The studio lights were bright, the audience was laughing, and Johnny Carson sat behind his desk with that familiar smile. Then John Wayne walked onto the stage. The audience erupted. Wayne smiled, tipped his hat, and gave his famous slow nod. To millions of Americans, he was the cowboy who never seemed afraid of anything. He had played heroes who faced danger with a steady hand and a fearless heart. But that night, something felt different. Carson joked with him about movies, horses, and the larger-than-life image people had created around him. Wayne laughed along, but then Carson asked a quieter question. "After all these years, what matters most to you?" For a moment, the laughter disappeared. Wayne looked down. He could have talked about his films. He could have talked about fame, awards, or the thousands of miles he had traveled making westerns. Instead, he spoke about family. His voice became softer as he remembered the people who had stood beside him when the cameras were gone. He talked about the years that passed too quickly, about children growing up while he was away working, and about how success could never buy back a single moment. Carson listened without interrupting. Then Wayne said something that seemed to reveal the man behind the legend. The toughest part of life wasn't facing an enemy or riding into danger. It was watching time take people you love. The audience became completely silent. The man who had spent his career portraying fearless heroes suddenly looked less like a movie star and more like an ordinary father and friend. A man who understood that every goodbye carries a weight that no one can escape. Carson leaned forward. "You've given people a lot of courage," he said. Wayne smiled faintly. "Maybe," he replied, "but the people who loved me gave me mine." Those words seemed to hang in the studio. For a few seconds, nobody laughed. Nobody moved. Then the audience applauded, not the loud applause that greets a celebrity, but the warm, emotional applause reserved for someone who has touched people's hearts. Wayne looked toward the audience and slowly tipped his hat. The cowboy was still there. But for one unforgettable moment, the mask had fallen away. John Wayne wasn't just the man on the screen. He was a father, a friend, a man who had known success, loss, love, regret, and the unstoppable passage of time. And that night on Johnny Carson's stage, America didn't see a legend. It saw the man behind the legend. And perhaps that was why the moment became so powerful. Because even the strongest heroes eventually discover that the greatest battles in life aren't fought with guns or horses. They're fought in the heart. And sometimes, the bravest thing a man can do is admit how much he loves the people he may one day have to say goodbye to.